2009, the British physicist Stephen Hawking hosted a party for anybody who could travel through time. However, he didn't send out the invitations until the next year and no one showed up. Time travel is most likely impossible. Even if it were possible, Hawking and others contend that you could never travel back in time before building your time machine. But what about travelling into the future? That's another story. We are all time travellers, of course, as we are swept along in the stream of time from past to future, 1 second at a time. However, in this video, we count down 5 objects that could indicate the existence of time travel. Father Pellegrino Ernetti Chronovisor. The Vatican and the Roman Catholic faith have been accused of many things over the years, profiting from the Holocaust, covering up child molestation, and so on. But one thing you may not be aware of is that they have a time machine. Father Ernetti's story began to unravel in the 1960s, following a chance meeting with Father Francois Brune, a theologian and author with a parapsychology interest, who taught at the Sorbonne in Paris. While waiting for a vaporetto to cross the Grand Canal, Father Brune ran into Father Ernetti. They struck up a conversation, and Father Ernetti piqued Father Brune's interest with a story about an invention he claimed to have assisted in the development of. His gestures, his intonation, how powerful they were, what flights of oratory, wrote Father Pellegrino Ernetti of Marcus Tullius Cicero's speech to the Roman Senate in 63 BC. Ernetti, who died in 1992, was a Benedictine monk, a noted ancient music historian, author, physicist, and exorcist. But what makes his depiction of Cicero noteworthy is that he claims to have witnessed it firsthand. Well, sort of. Ernetti actually told Father Francois Brune that he was watching it live on a time-warping device called the Chronovisor. Rather than sending people through time, the Chronovisor tuned into past events and portrayed them as if they were time-traveling television. Ernetti claimed to have created the Chronovisor in the 1950s with the help of 12 famous scientists who, with the exception of Enrico Fermi and Werner von Braun, both of whom were dead when their names were disclosed in 1992, desired to remain anonymous. The Chronovisor had a number of antennae, 3 of which were made of mysterious metals and received light and sound signals on all wavelengths, a direction finder for tuning to a specific time and place, a screen, and a recording device. Ernetti recalled how the time crew gathered around their invention watching speeches by Mussolini and Napoleon, as well as scenes from ancient Rome, including a production of Thyestes, a lost play by Quintus Ennius, one of Rome's most influential poets. Although no one saw the Chronovisor, Ernetti did provide evidence of his televisual trips by posting excerpts from Thyestes in Latin. Then on May 2, 1972, the Italian journal La Domenica del Corriere published what was supposed to be Ernetti's trump card, a Chronovisor image of the crucified Christ. The team had seen his final days from the Last Supper to his final agonizing moments and had kept the photo as a powerful memento. The Philadelphia Experiment. The Philadelphia Experiment is one of the most hideous military urban legends of all time, and it has survived as an infamous World War II conspiracy theory. But is it true? According to sources, the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was conducting top-secret experiments on October 28, 1943, in order to obtain control of the oceans against the Axis forces. The story was that the government was developing technology that would make military ships invisible to enemy radar, and it was time to put it to the test at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. According to witnesses, an unearthly green-blue glow encircled the hull of the ship as her generators churned up, and then the Eldridge vanished. The ship was then observed in Virginia's Norfolk Naval Shipyard before disappearing and reappearing in Philadelphia. According to the story, classified military documents revealed that the events had a negative impact on the Eldridge crew. Some people went insane, others experienced unexplained illnesses. Others, though, were believed to have become merged with the spacecraft, still alive, but with limbs bonded to the metal. Carl M. Allen, also known as Carlos Miguel Allende, wrote a series of letters to Morris K. Jessup, author of The Case for the UFO in 1956, arguing that unexplained flying objects should be investigated further. Jessup appears to have included text about unified field theory because that is what Allende used for his correspondences. In the 1950s, the unproven unified field theory attempted to combine Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity with electromagnetic. Indeed, Allende claimed to have been trained by Einstein himself and to be able to demonstrate the unified field theory based on events he witnessed on October 28, 1943. Allende claimed to have seen the Eldridge vanish from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, and he also claimed that the US military had carried out what he dubbed the Philadelphia experiment and was attempting to cover it up. Was the US military really attempting to conceal time travel technology? 300 million year old screw. The Cosmopoisk Group, a Russian research organization that examines UFOs and paranormal activity, claims to have discovered a 1-inch screw lodged inside a 300 million year old rock. They claim that the screw is the relic of an ancient form of technology that demonstrates extraterrestrials visited Earth millions of years ago. Scientists believe the screw is nothing more than a fossilized marine creature known as a crinoid. In the 1990s, a Russian crew was researching the remains of a meteorite in Russia's Kaluga region when they came upon the unusual object. A paleontological examination found that the stone developed between 300 and 320 million years ago. The team also claims that an X-ray of the stone reveals the presence of another screw inside it. They have not, however, invited international experts to inspect the device, nor have they revealed what the screw is made of. Nigel Watson, author of the UFO Investigations Manual, told reporters, "Lots of out-of-place artifacts have been reported, such as nails or even tools embedded in ancient stone. Some of these reports are misinterpretations of natural formations. It would be great to think we could find such ancient evidence of a spaceship visiting us so long ago, but we have to consider whether extraterrestrial spacecraft builders would use screws in the construction of their craft," he added. It also seems that this story is probably a hoax that is being spread by the internet and reflects our desire to believe that extraterrestrials have visited us in the past and are still visiting us today in what we now call UFOs. For the time being, the discussion surrounding the object is very much alive, and it is unlikely that consensus will be found anytime soon unless the Cosmopoisk Group discloses specific details regarding the material of the screw. Were these extraterrestrials visiting us, or was this a case of time travel? Perhaps someone travelled through time and accidentally dropped this screw. The Lanzo Screw. Another enigmatic artifact discovered in recent years that appears to defy mainstream archaeology and history is the Lanzo Screw. The Lanzo Screw has a similar background to the Russian screw. It was unearthed in 2002 and has since piqued the interest of collectors and experts. The most fascinating aspect of this artifact is the discovery of a metal screw within the rock. The intriguing pear-shaped stone is approximately 68 centimeters in length and weighs approximately 466 kilos. However, it is not a common rock, and the metal-shaped screw just adds to the mystery of the rock, which specialists believe is millions of years old. Indeed, the unusual rock has geologists scratching their heads. Researchers, including geologists and physicists from the National Land Resources Bureau of Gansu Province and the School of Resources and Environment of Lanzo College, are unsure of the artifact's origin and point out that at this time all theories are possible. According to the Lanzo Morning News, after a discussion on the potential of the stone being man-made and the possible reasons for its formation, scientists unanimously identified the stone as one of the most precious in China and in the world of collection, study and archaeological studies. Several explanations have been presented to explain the mystery rock and the embedded 6-centimeter cone-shaped metal bar with clear screw threads. While most researchers believe this artifact represents the remains of a prehistoric civilization, others feel that given the unusual composition of specific parts of the rock, both the granite and the enigmatic metal screw could have originated on another planet. Is this another instance of time travel or extraterrestrials? Something is most certainly missing from humanity's distant history. History and archaeology plainly do not provide a complete picture of our history, as artifacts like the Lanzo Screw demonstrate. Is it likely that these items discovered in Russia and China represent the remains of advanced prehistoric civilizations? It's possible that if we change the way we think about our past and history, we'd have a better understanding of what these artifacts are really trying to tell us. Iranian time machine. It's not exactly Back to the Future, but a young Iranian inventor claims to have created a time machine capable of accurately predicting a person's future. Ali Rezeki claims his device would print out a report explaining an individual's fate after applying advanced algorithms to anticipate his or her fate. According to the reports, Rezeki explained his technology to the Fars news agency, which is run by the Iranian government. It is easy to fit into the size of a personal computer case, and it has the ability to accurately forecast details about the next 5 to 8 years of its users' lives. It will not take you into the future, it will bring the future to you. According to Rezeki, Iran has opted to keep his prophetic time machine a secret for the time being out of fear that the Chinese will steal the idea and produce it in millions overnight. Let's hear what you have to say about time travel in the comments section.